So everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good, good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine,
Fine,
fine.
sir.
Sir.
Let's wait for another 2-3 minutes. Maybe somebody will join. Else we will start it. Okay, guys, let's get started. So yesterday we covered some more topics, some features of Java. We learned about uh, around 10 to 12 features of Java. Hope you guys are able to recall yesterday's session. So these are some of the features which we discussed yesterday. And we discussed more on the object oriented. What is object oriented programming and what are the features of object oriented programming languages? We discussed the OOPS concept, object, what are classes, what are inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So hope you guys uh, are pretty confident and aware about these concepts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So today
Yes, sir.
we will be starting with Java naming convention, and we will be starting with one more topic. What is the difference? So three, 4 days we will be covering more on the theory part. Then we will start with the practical. I'll tell you the concept for that particular feature, and we'll do the hands-on activities side by side so that you guys are more comfortable and more confident in knowing the features and implementing that feature of your own. Okay, so bear with me for 3-4 days because there are some of the things which are necessary to know all these things before we jump on to the main features of the Java. Okay, so let's start with today's one with this one. Difference between all these three. So what's the difference between what is JDK actually? What is JDK? What is JRE? What is JVM? So we talked features about Java. We talked about OOPS concepts, and day before yesterday, we have covered one Java programming language. But internally, how it works, how Java reads that thing, from where it will take the object, from where it will take the values, how it is running. So that things are still unknown to you, right? So we'll be discussing how the program works, what is JDK, what is JRE, what is JVM. So we'll discuss more on this. So I'll tell you. So uh, if you remember, we covered two of the programs day before yesterday. One is Hello program where we are printing just I am Uno Geeks. Okay. So whenever we are writing some code and whenever we are compiling that code via Java C, we are doing via Java C, right? So Java C followed by class name. So once we do that, it will create dot class file. And when we execute that dot class file with Java followed by the class name, how it will run in the background, now I'll explain you this. So what JVM means? JVM means Java Virtual Machine. JVM means Java Virtual Machine. So I told you that Java is platform independent, portable language. We can compile our application on one platform and we can run that application on any of the platform, irrespective whether it is a Windows machine, whether it is a Linux machine, whether it is a Mac OS machine. Correct? So what how exactly that dot Java class file get executed when we write Java followed by the class name. So JVM is nothing Java virtual machine. What it will do, it will take the dot class file from the memory from the uh, from the memory which will be identified through the class name, and it will run that particular Java code into the virtual machine and it will execute our program. So that is Java virtual machine. Any questions?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
So
No, sir.
in the diagram also you will be we have one JVM. So here in this oval block our code runs. And what is JRE? Java runtime environment. So this rectangle box is the JRE, so which provides an environment to run our program and which embeds Java virtual machine. Another and also we have some set of libraries which helps us to run that particular program on JVM. So we used to write. So I'll show you. You have example. Just 1 minute. I'm opening that Java program. So able to see my screen for Java program also or not?
No, sir. It's not visible.
No, sir.
Yeah, wait. Okay, so you're able to see there is one program we discussed day before yesterday. I am Monovix, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I talk about this Java runtime environment, so how it will do, how it will run. So from so it provides an environment where are running this, that is JVM. But how it will run, there are some libraries which we are using for Java like as a Java library. So that provides a runtime environment which execute our Java program in the JVM, and also with the set of some of the libraries. So we have installed Java application in our local machine, right? So there are some set of libraries available for that Java application, right? So with the help of that files only, we are able to run our application in the JVM. Okay. So Java runtime environment provides an environment which provides some of the libraries, some of the jars, which help us to run our application in the JVM. Okay. And what is JDK? JDK is nothing the Java development toolkit. Okay. I'll show you one more thing to make this clear to you. What is Java development toolkit? Okay. Let me share this to you also.
What is JDK, sir?
Yeah, I'm coming. So, so when we install Java, so we go to program files, we have Java installed. So inside this, anyone of you, so we can see two folders, JDK and JRE, right? So JDK is not, so we provide path of bin to the environment variable. So these are some set of jars available, some set of library available. With the help of this, we are running our application. But what is JDK? JDK is complete set of everything where we have JRE. This is the runtime environment where our application is running. This is the jar available and complete set. This whole everything I'm showing this is JDK. Got it? Java Development Toolkit. So this JDK itself is the Java Development Toolkit. If I go to JRE, this is the runtime environment. And if I go here with the help of these libraries, I'm able to execute I'm able to execute our program. And this Java C provides a virtual machine. With the help of that, we are able to run our application inside the JVM.
Yes, sir. Sir, like, so this Java runtime environment is different from which we use, sir. Like IntelliJ and Notepad++, we'll use Visual Studio Code, those apps.
Irrespective, so that is just a tool, but
Okay.
but Java, yeah, that is just a tool. You can use Eclipse, you can use NetBeans, you can use IntelliJ. So that
Yes,
provides
yes, sir.
an environment to execute your Java application. But Java is single one, so that is provided by Oracle. So that has JRE, that has JVM, that has JDK. So that is similar.
So like those tools are different from this JRE, no, sir?
Sorry,
Hello?
which
Like,
things are different?
so no, sir, those Eclipse and so whether
Yeah, that is
they come under
different.
JRE or
Yeah, yeah.
that's my doubt, sir.
That is just a different tool to execute your program. So yesterday I discussed you for polymorphism. I discussed one thing, many forms.
Yes, sir,
So
yes, sir.
that is also one thing, many forms. So you are executing your Java program, but with different platforms available, different tools available in the market.
Sir, so like I'm calling those two, can those tools be called as JRE, sir? Like runtime
No, no, no,
environment, sir?
no,
Yes,
no. So that is not JRE. JRE is that which provides a runtime environment to run your application. So that is common.
okay, sir.
That is provided by Java only.
Okay, sir. Irrespective of tools, that is provided by Java, sir.
Yes,
JRE.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Salman, Shraddha, any questions from you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So if somebody is asked what's the difference between JDK, JRE, and JVM, so you are confident in telling what is JDK, JRE, and JVM now? I'm repeating again. So JVM is a runtime environment where your dot class file get executed. Okay. JR is nothing. It is it 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 provides JVM plus other set of libraries. With the help of that, we are executing our program. And what is JDK? JDK is complete set which have JVM, JRE, and other development tools like Java C compiler, rt.jar, other jars also. Hope you are clear.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, like these libraries and all will be stored like default in the JRE, sir.
Yes, so I'll show you. So if I go to Java and if I go to JDK, you can see one lib folder is there.
Yes, sir.
If
Library
you
folder.
open
Yes, sir.
this, these are multiple libraries which are already provided by Java itself. If you open this mission control, or if you open this WinRAR archive, right? Let me open
Yes,
this.
sir.
Let me extract one of this so that let's say, yeah. Let me open this extract. Sure. Extract to. Okay. So here comes one folder. So if you see COM, Oracle, JavaFX, JMX, so JSON. So here you see there are some of the dot class files which we use to implement. So these are some of the libraries which are already provided by the Java itself.
Yes, sir.
So in JRE also we have one lib folder. Here you will find uh, more files. With the help of that, we are running our application. Got it?
Understood, sir.
Okay, fine. Let's jump to next. Next topic. Okay, before that, I'll cover this naming convention also. Okay, naming convention I'll cover later on. Let me cover this Java. So what is Java variable? So yesterday,
Float, cal, double.
correct, yeah. So yesterday we tried one example where we were doing summation a plus b, c is equal to a plus b, and we are storing a plus b. Let me open that
So,
example.
like
This is the one.
where it can store values, sir,
Yeah.
variables.
So we were doing A, B, C. But what is A, B, C? What is this INT? And what is this C? Where the value is getting stored in the memory. So these things are nothing but variables defined. A is variable, B is variable, C is variable, and these are the data types to which the value of the variable is getting stored. So we will be
Specify the
just
data
discussing
type.
more on the variable, then we will be discussing on the data types. Okay. So we have three types of variables here. So these are the Java variables. So there are three types of variables. One is local variable, one is instance variable, and one is static variable. So the difference between three are, I'll give you an example through this example. So whatever we have defined within the class. So this is within the class, right? Within the class.
Yes,
So
sir.
these
Yes,
are
sir.
nothing. So these are nothing. These are the instance. Sorry, within the class, like here if we are defining int, you can say e f g. So these are nothing, these are local variable which are defined which are defined inside the class but outside of method. All right, inside the class but outside of method. So these are nothing, these are instance variable. Instance variables. Okay. What about these variables? These are local variables which are inside the class, inside the class, and inside the method. So this is the main method, right? So these variables are the local variable. We can't use these variables in the class, but we can use these instance variable in the method. We can use EFG here. We can use here EFG. We can use here, but we can't use ABC here. ABC we can't use.
Like we can assign the values in the method also, sir, for local variables.
Yes, yeah. So we here also we are assigning the variable for local variables. So these are local variables. Local variable. So local variables are nothing which are defined inside any method. So this is defined inside them because these can be used only within the curly braces within this block. We can't use these ABC outside this block. And what about this EFG? You can see we can use this inside this anywhere in the block, inside this method, here. But here it will use only in this block. That's why it is called as these are the local variable and these are the instance variable. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the third one we have is the static variable. What are static variables? Static variable are nothing if we define any of the variable, local or instance variable with static keyword, static. So that becomes the static variable. I'll discuss more on the static variable in the upcoming session because static is a huge concept in Java that has its own advantages over other variables, local and instance variable. So for time being, you just remember that static variable are those which are initialized with the static keyword. Static is a keyword, Java predefined keyword. Okay. So here also, if you see, we have defined static. So this is nothing but a predefined Java keyword. Okay. So I repeat, these are the instance variable which are defined outside, which are defined inside the class but outside of method. These are local variables in BC, which are defined inside the method and they are inside the class, and they are confined only to these blocks within this curly bracket. Whereas instance is allowed to use within the class and within this method also. And static variables are the one which are initialized with static keyword. Any question, guys?
No, sir.
Sir, just can you repeat it once, sir? I couldn't catch it properly.
Sure. So all three you want me to repeat, or with anyone you have?
No, just the static that part.
Static keywords. Static keywords are nothing but if you initialize any this. So this is one local variable you have initialized. So you can see int b is what local variable, right?
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
if you before int, if you define one keyword static static and like this. So this int b, so variable b will become static variable. So any variable, if you have
Like
initialized before static keyword, so that will become a static keyword.
okay, sir. So we cannot use that variable again in any that value will be assigned to that particular variable, sir.
Sorry?
Like what does it mean? Like that D will become static, sir, in the sense like we cannot assign any other values. I
Yes,
couldn't
yes.
understand that.
That's what I told. I'll discuss more on the static variable because static is a big topic. So for now, you just remember that static keyword is the one to which we have defined static keyword with the variable.
Okay,
So
sir. Okay, sir.
for the values for other things, I'll surely come on that part because we have a huge topic on static, so that will be a part of next sessions,
Sure,
upcoming.
sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah,
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
because there we will be considering stating variables, stating methods, static classes. So we'll cover everything with one example.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So these are the types of variables. So you got it. What is Java variable and what are the types of Java variable?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before that, if you see, we have a variable. So these are A, B, C. These all are variable. But what is this int? So these are nothing. These are data type. So if we want to store any integer value, we use int. If we store any decimal digit value, let's say 1.234. So we have one other data type that is double, or we can use float. So with that, let's say we need to define one. We need to write some logic where we have pi. The value of pi is 3.14. So where it will get stored? It will not get stored in the int because int only take integers values,
Integer.
whereas double or float take decimal values also. Okay. So I'll store pi is equal to this, whatever be the value. Any decimal digit, 3.3.14. I'll discuss more on this in this data types. So what are data types? Anyone? I think Harsha knows better.
The, the like the type of element which you are giving to the system, like it defines the type of value, whether integer or character or decimal number.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, like the type which the variables which the type of variables which you are giving, it will define that.
Yes. So we have data types are of different sizes and different values. So we can store different values. We can store integer values. We can store we can store decimal values. We can store string values. String value means alphabetical characters. We can store like alphabetic character in the we can have char data type. So any value which you can think of, we can store. So for that we need data types so that we can perform any activity while assigning the variable of that particular data type and do some calculations on that part. Okay. So
Yes.
there are two types of data types. If we see, one is primitive data types and one are non-primitive data types. So what are primitive data types? Let's discuss on that. So primitive data types are nothing that are like integer, character, float, decimal. So these all are integer data types. Boolean. So if I talk about uh, so Harsh, what is this? Salman and Shraddha. So you know C language, right? So you must be aware about the data types there, correct?
Yes, sir.
What about Salman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So data types are nothing. So we have two types of data, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive ones are the one which include Boolean, character, byte, short, int, long, float, and double values. Whereas non-primitive data types are the one which include classes, which included interfaces, which includes arrays, structures, but structure is not included in C and C plus or in Java language. It is a part of C and C plus plus. So that is just to tell you that we have a structure as a non-primitive data type. Okay. So if we talk about the primitive, so there are multiple primitive data types. That is Boolean. So what do you mean by Boolean data type? So Boolean is nothing which is used to store value like true or false. Like we have in electric, you used to study gates.
Yes,
We
sir.
have OR
Gates, sir.
gates,
Yes, sir.
AND
Yes, sir.
gates, NAND gates. So there the value is getting stored as on and off. On and off means true and false, 0 and 1.
0 and 1.
So that has the value as either 0, either 1, either true, either false, either yes, either no. So that kind of data type, if we want to store, so we use Boolean data type as Boolean as a data type. So I'll give you an example here. Let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say we want to. So we used to define the Boolean data type as like this. We develop Boolean. So this is the keyword we need to use, and we need to define variable name, any variable name. Let's say is valid. Is valid. Let's say we have taken is valid and we are making it as false. So this is the Boolean, which is a data type, and is valid is the variable name, and is valid is the variable name to which we have assigned the data type as Boolean, and its value we have defined as false. It can be true, it can be false. So it can be like this: true also, it can be false. Only two values it can store. So Boolean data type. So Boolean is a data type which can store only values true and false. Okay. Let's go to another data type. So we have another that is byte. Byte. So byte is also one of the data type which has. So one more thing. So for Boolean, if you doesn't define any value, so by default, let's say you have defined this Boolean. Boolean is valid. Okay, that's only. So you have defined this. Okay. So by default, the Boolean variable is false. If you haven't defined any of the variable, I'm checking here what is the value. I'm doing system dot out dot print if I use, and I write is valid. So what it will print in the runtime, it will print false because by default the value of the boolean is false. Unless and until I make it as true, I'll explicitly mention that this value is true. So it will print true. Else, if we won't define anything, sorry. What happened? 1 minute, guys. You able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So I was showing, so for Boolean, we can have only two values, that is true or false. So by default, the value is false unless and until we define that value as true. So value will be false if we print any of the values for the Boolean data type. So that is Boolean. So next one is, and in memory, one more thing for Boolean. In memory, it will store only 1 byte. If you use this Boolean is valid, so in the memory, if you see, it will store only 1 byte in the memory. So if an interviewer asks you what is how much byte it will get stored in the memory, so he may ask this question that um, there is one Boolean data type, and you tell me that what is the bytes it will store in the so it will store one bit. 1 bit is the default size for that particular Boolean. Okay. So this is Boolean. Let's go to character. So we have one more data type, that is character. So if we want to store alphabets, like let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, we need to store some alphabets in anywhere. So what we will use? We will use char as a data type, and we will store any of the character there. So how we will write, like we will use, so we can use char, that is the keyword. We can use, let's say, keyword, what name? Let's say this is the argument. Arg we have written here, like this we can store. We can store like this also. We can provide any default value, small a or capital A. So for small a and capital A is different for Java. These are not so. So small a starts with, so for every character there is a number associated in Java. I'll tell you later for that. So we can define any character with that. So if you need to store character value, so that will be getting stored in the memory with 2 bytes. So for that, for character, the default size is 2 bytes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah. And what is the default value? Nobody has asked. So for Boolean, what is the default value for Boolean? Guys, what is the default value for Boolean? I just told you.
4 bytes.
Default value I am asking, not memory.
Sorry. False. Sorry.
Yeah.
False. Sir.
And what is the uh, memory it will take in the memory?
1 byte.
1 bit, sorry, not byte. 1 bit. 1 bit it
Yeah,
will
1
take.
bit.
And for character, what is the default value? Nobody has asked. I'll tell you. And what is the default size for character? 2 bytes. Okay.
Yes.
Default value for character is, I'm writing here. So in memory, it will store like this as a Unicode character, \u followed by 4 zeros. So this is the default value for character. So interview may ask, what is the default value of character, Salman? So you will be able to answer like this is the default value, and it will take 2 bytes in the memory. 2 bytes in memory. memory as a space. Okay, and Boolean will take 1 bit in the memory. Okay, so these
Okay.
are okay. So what is the next one? So we have other one is numeric. So that is widely used data type. We have seen in multiple programming, multiple languages and multiple applications. So what is numeric data type? Numeric data types include
It's numbers, sir.
yes, correct. Numbers 1, 2, 3, any uh, uh, integer number or decimal number, all are getting stored in numeric data types. Okay. For numeric data type, yeah. Numeric data types is further categorized into integral data type, which will show you further like what type of data it will get stored, whether it is an integer data type or whether it is a decimal type. So for integer, we have a 4 data types defined, that is byte, short, int, and long. So every data type has its own on default size, on default value. Okay, and for storing the decimal, we have one floating point that includes float and double. I'll tell you for all of these. Let's discuss for int. So int is nothing like this. Int, and we want to let's say we'll do store student marks. So we can store the student marks like this. Int English marks. English marks is equal to, let's say, 50. So int is nothing. Int is a data type which will store integers values, and variable name we can define anything. Or we need to do summation of two numbers. Int a is equal to 10. Okay, like this we can provide any value, any integer value. What is the default value for integer? What default value for integer is 0. So if we don't define any value, let's say we have defined like this: int a is equal to 0, and int a is equal to int a, and int b is equal to 1. And here we are doing int c is equal to int c, and c is equal to a plus b. So what the result will come? A value by default it is 0, so it will take 0 plus 1. Answer will be c is equal to 1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is int. We'll cover what is byte, what is short, what is long, what is float data type, what is double data type. So this is all part of primitive data types. Then we will cover what are non-primitive data types. Okay. So this is for integer, I told you. I'm asking you one question. So what is the default value for Boolean?
Sir, it is true, sir.
False, sir. False.
False.
How much memory it will take in the
1 bit.
1 bit, sir.
1 bit.
okay, good. And what is the default value for character?
Slash u
2 bit.
000.
I'm
2 bit,
asking,
sir.
no, 2 bit, 2 byte, not bit. 2 byte is the memory space. I'm asking for the default value.
0, sir.
Slash u 000 something is there. That one is
correct.
default value for character. Yeah.
Salman, why you said 0? 0 is an integer value, but we have a character, right?
Sir, int A, wow, int B 1, sir.
Yeah. For integer, it is default value is 0, and how much memory it will take in the memory? It is 4 bytes.
4 bytes, sir.
4 bytes. Okay. So with integer, we have some other data types, that is byte and short. So byte is when we want to store a very minimal amount of data. Okay, you can have very minimum in KB's data, then we can use byte as the data types, integer data type. And when we want little bit more than byte, then we can use short. But mostly in most of the cases, we use int as a data type, whether it is a short, whether it is the long. But if we have a data, if we want to store some value like this, like this, like this, so this is very long value. So this value won't get stored in this int data type. For that, we need to define one more data that is long. Long, this is the keyword, and you can give any name. Let's say int a is long a is equal to like this, and it will take 8 bytes in the memory. For integer, it was 4 bytes, whereas a long will take 8 bytes in the memory. Okay, and
Okay.
and short also we can define short a is equal to 1. So that is used to store very minimal amount of data. And we have one more data types which I told you: short, byte, int long. Int long have covered, byte and short. So byte, we can use byte a is equal to 1. But in most of the cases, we use either int or either long. If we have some values where a long amount of data is getting stored. Okay. But most of the cases, we use int only as a data type for storing integer values. Okay. So let's say we have a class of students, and we have 50 students. For 50 students, 50 students are studying 5 subjects. All the 5 subjects are stored where? So we can use int data types, which will store only one. I mean, integer values. If we need to store any decimal values, let's say the student marks is 45.5 marks out of 50. So this will not get stored in the integer data type. So what if I use like this? So is this right or wrong? 45.5. Is this correct or not?
No, sir, it will be wrong, sir.
It
Yeah,
will be
it's
wrong.
wrong because integer only used to store integer data types,
Int values, yes, sir.
not I mean integers values, not decimal values. For decimal values, we have one more data type, that is float and double. Okay. So we are clear with the integer data type: byte, short, int, long.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shraddha, can you explain once? Can you just quickly tell me what is byte, what is int, what is short, and what is long? No need to worry. If you are wrong, that's fine. At least you will learn something.
Sir, integer memory take 4 bytes, and integer default value is 0, and uh, long will take 8 bytes,
Very good.
and
Long will take 8. Int will take 0.
yeah, and then if there is any decimal value, means that is float and double.
Yeah, I'll come to float and double. I haven't tell you. But what about
Yeah,
byte and short? What is the memory it will take?
8 bits, sir.
8 bits.
How much?
8 bits.
8 bytes.
No, not 8 bytes. Only long will take 8 bytes of memory. Byte will take 1 byte, and short will take 2 bytes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
this will cover your integer data type. So let's come to the floating data types. For that, we have one data type with float, float. What float will store? It will store all the decimal values. Let's say float a is equal to, let's say a is equal to 1.2. So it will get stored here. And why we use double? Double also will do the same thing. But why? What's the difference between float and double? P is equal to 10.5. Only difference is of the memory bytes. So it will take 4 bytes of 4 bytes in the memory. It will take 8 bytes in the memory. If we want to store any large values, let's say 10 point, like this, like this values we want to store, we can use double. If you want to store any values with only 1.2 or 1.25 with 2 digit decimal, after decimal 2 digits, then we can use float. But if we have like possibility of using possibility where the dot decimal digit may increase to very long, or may have this like this kind of values, so in that case we can use double. And
Okay, sir.
it will take 4 bytes and it will take 8 bytes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Harsha, Salman, Shraddha?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. So here we have covered primitive data types. Primitive Boolean we have covered. Primitive character we have covered. Primitive numeric. In numeric we have integral, and integral we have integer and floating. For integer we have byte, short, int, long, and for floating we have float and double. So conclusion is, for primitive, what are primitive data types? These are the primitive. Boolean number 1, character number 2, byte number 3, short number 4, int number 5, long number 6, float number 7, and double number 8. So these are the 8 primitive data types which we can use for our application for writing any of the programs in Java.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if somebody asks you write a program using primitive data types, so with the help of these 8 data types, you can write any of the program.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's come to the non-primitive data types. So, any one of you want to explain the primitive data types one by one? Anyone wants to volunteer? That will be a learning to you guys. That won't impact like, oh, if I forgot anything, that's not kind of insult to you. It will be beneficial to you only.
Yes, sir. Like I can, sir, I can explain.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So like in
Go
primitive
slowly,
type,
go slowly one by one.
yes, sir, no problem, sir. Generally, data types are categorized into two types, sir, primitive and non-primitive. In primitive data types, again, it is categorized into two types. One is Boolean and another one is numeric, sir. Like there are 8 data types which are primitive, sir. Those data types are Boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, double. Boolean is used to determine whether the value is true or false, that kind of thing, sir. Like char is used for char data type is used to like when we use alphabets, those kind of things. Char is used, sir. And int is used for numbers, sir. And there are different types of int, long int, short int, etc. Like if if the if we need more memory, we'll use long int, sir. And if we need very short memory, we can use short int, sir. Float and double are used for decimal numbers, sir. Like float, if we use float, we write more number of decimal numbers. That's the difference between float and double. That's
Yeah, very good, Harsha, very good. Thank you for volunteering yourself. That makes you confident in asking any questions if you have, or if you have not understood anything for that, so that will also help you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let's move forward with non-primitive data types. So what are non-primitive data types?
String array, sir.
Yeah, strings, arrays, structure. So these all are the non-primitive data types. Okay. So that actually, if you guys, I think you must be aware about what are string, what are arrays, right? So here I'll be covering more on that. So arrays are nothing. If you have, let's say, if you want to store, uh, arrays are basically used to store values with a group. Okay, multiple values of same forms is nothing but an array. Okay, if we want to store, let's say, 10 if you want to store uh, student data and we have 10 students, so for all of the students we will not create the variable, right? Let's say we have student 1 int s student 1 and his marks is, let's say, 20. Out of 20 it is 20. Int s2 it is 15, 16. Int s3 15. Int s4 10. So like this, we have int, let's say, s10, which is 19. Okay. So like this, we have, let's say, 10 students. So we'll not create a variable one by one. Instead, we will use one array object, which is used to store all the 10 student marks. So we can use like this int AR. We can use any name. Let's say you can use Amit, you can use Salman, but let's say we use array as AR, int AR. We use curly braces is equal to new int, and we will define how many students we want. Let's say 10. So what is int? You are aware about that. Int is nothing but it is used to store integer value. What is this AR? This is nothing but variable. Any variable you can take. You can take any variable, anywhere variable. Okay. What is this bracket? Bracket is nothing. This is new thing to you. Bracket is nothing. This will tell you that this is an array variable. This is an array variable, array non-primitive data type, array variable. And this is also new. This is used to define. This is new is a keyword. It is nothing. It is a keyword. And again, we are defining that it is an integer value, and we are defining the number. How many integer values we need in the memory? We need 10 students memory. Okay.
Like number of integers are different, sir, or the memory code for the uh, memory required is told, sir, when we write in the brackets.
Sorry, Harsha, can you come again? I didn't get you.
Like what it defines, sir? Like we have written like int bracket 10 also. Like whether it defines number of elements which are present or the memory it's required for that 10 elements, sir.
No. This is not a memory. This is like, so like this we have created 10 variables, right? Int s1, s2,
Yes, sir.
s3, s1.
So
So
okay, sir. So
instead of this, we can delete this. Instead of this, we can write this. So that is equivalent to that one which I have deleted.
so it says like whether number of variables which we need to in an array, sir. So
Yes,
that
yes,
defines it,
correct,
no, sir? Okay,
correct.
okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
So this is anyway. Let's say this is A. This is new thing. This is array. This is sorry. This square bracket is the new thing. Okay, which is a way to define an array object, and then we have a new keyword. We can remove this. This is just to define that this is a new keyword. After that, we have again integer value, and this braces we need to tell how many and a number of how many elements, how many variables we need to in, whether it is 10, whether it is 5, whether it is 15, whether it is 20. So in that we can use that. So like this integer variable, we can use float also. We can use like this float b equal to new float. Let's say 10. So here we can store 10 float variable, 10 decimal digits. 10 decimal digits. Let's say we have a percentage of 10 students. So there we can store the percentage of all the 10 students in the float variable, float array variable. Okay. So all the primitive variable which you have defined, let's say boolean, int, short, long, for all of them we can create an array variable like this: long c equal to new long. Let's say we have defined as 10. Okay, like this we can do. So these are nothing, these are arrays. We talked about arrays. So you haven't asked anything in the primitive that is, sir, if I have, we have stored character variable, but if we need to store any name, let's say Salman is not a character, Salman, that is it, but Salman is kind of a name.
String, sir.
So,
String,
so
yes,
how
sir.
so how it will get stored? So here is the question. So that will get stored in a string. Okay. So what if we want to store, let's say, Uno gigs? So how it will get stored? So we have one more data type, that is string, string. String f is equal to, there we can store these kind of values we can store. We can use paragraph also. Let's say we have something like this. So these all values we can store, but that would be inside double quotes. Every string is denoted by double quotes. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so you're able to follow what are non-primitive data types.
String is a name which name will give, sir.
Yes, correct. So array we can store homogeneous data types of same type, and string we can store names, any uh, uh, set of characters, or you can say any paragraph, any names, any city names, anything, any word you can say, any word you can store. Okay. So any
Okay,
question?
sir.
Yeah. Any
No, sir.
questions?
No, sir. It is clear.
Okay. So let's take a quickly 5 minutes break. It's 8 o'clock. Let's be back by 8:05. You can have water, you can go and come back up.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir. We have water. We have the water, sir.
Okay, fine. Let's resume. So we'll be covering next topic, that is operators in Java. So you guys are back, right? Salman and Harsha and Shraddha.
Yes, yes, sir.
sir.
Okay. So we'll be covering operators in Java now. So there are multiple operators. Like we have arithmetic operation to perform any arithmetic calculation. So yesterday we were saying addition of two numbers. Like this, we can have multiplication, subtraction, division. So for every uh, operation we do, there is a operator associated with that, right? Whether it is addition, whether it is subtraction. So for every calculation, we have one operator, that is plus operator, minus operator. So these are nothing but operators in Java, which helps you to do any processing, any task you need to perform. Okay. So there are multiple operators like unary operator, arithmetic, shift, relational, bitwise, logical, stationary, and assignment operator. So we'll be discussing one by one what all are these. Okay. Anyone of you know about any of the operator, either by name or by anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which one you are aware? Harsha?
Like assignment of operator means equal to those things will come under assignment operator, sir.
Sir, in arithmetic operator, addition, sir.
Very good. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. I also know that arithmetic operator.
Okay, very good.
Relational operator, I think less than and greater than those things will come under relational operator, sir.
Very good, Harsha. Very good. Yes, correct.
Like so if you give double times the less than symbol, greater than symbol, those will come under shift operators, sir.
Okay, good. So more or less, you guys are aware about what are operators. So we'll be discussing more on. So let's discuss what are unary operators first. Okay. So unary operators are nothing but, like, let's say I'll discuss in this. Unary operators. Let's say you need to define one. One. Let's say you define a is equal to 1, right? Okay. So you can define with that unary one. Uni means 1, and a is equal to 1. So uni means one operator. It means that operations with one data types is unary operator, which means I need to perform operations with one. Can I do operations with one? Ideally, no, because I need one other, like this meaning int b is equal to 10. So I can do the arithmetic operation c is equal to a plus b. But can I do operations on this a is equal to 1? Yes. What I can do, I can do like this. A is equal to a plus 1, right? But here, what we am doing, I am using arithmetic operator. Plus is nothing but an arithmetic operator, and it is performing on two variables, int a and int which we have defined a and which we have defined 1. But what is unary operator? Unary operator is with one single data type, one single variable also you need to perform an activity. Let's say these are the unary operators. A is equal to a plus plus. If we want to increment the value of a as 1, let's say you go to any of the food counter to buy or to eat some foods, let's say, and the guy asks, hey buddy, you take the token number from there, then only you will get food. So Shraddha go and he got token number 1. So Salman goes, what it will get? It will not get the token number 1 because it is already given to Shraddha. It will get token number 2. So the token number is getting incremented by 111. So in that case, what we will do, we will use a is equal to a plus 1. Token is equal to, let's say, token is equal to token plus plus. So that every time it will come, it will give the next number which has already been passed to the next number. Okay. So here the value of a is equal to a plus plus means the value of a is equal to 2. Again, if I do a plus plus, the value of a is equal to 3. Again, I do a plus plus, the value of a will be 4.
Like it
Similar,
only do one time, or like if you give one a plus plus, it will just increment without stopping, sir, or it will stop after incrementing one value, sir.
Harsha, come again. Speak
Like
slowly.
yes, sir. Like when we give a plus plus, no, sir.
Uh-huh.
So then the value will be incremented only once, or it will increment. It will continuously, sir.
No, it will be incremented only by one number. If
Okay,
I
sir.
write
Like
a plus plus, it will be what is the value of a? A is value is 1. A plus plus
oh,
means it back end it will write like this. A is equal to a plus 1. It will do like
okay,
this
sir.
in the back end.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So
So,
like it will only increment
so
one time, sir.
yes, yes. So the Java for user it is like a plus plus. But for Java, what it will do, it will write it in this form. A is equal to a plus 1. Then send it to the compiler that hey buddy, increase the value of the a with 1. Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Understood, sir. Yes.
So for this, the backend value will be a is equal to a plus 1. So the value of current value is 2. So it will increase by 1. So it will value is 0. So these are nothing but unary operator. So like this, we can have minus sign also, a minus minus. So these are post post increment, because this is incrementing after the value of a variable post. We can define pre also, plus plus a, like this, minus minus a, we can do. These are prefix unary operator, and these are postfix unary operator. You got the difference?
Yes, sir. Like, will there be any difference, sir? Like, if we take 2 as example, no, sir.
Okay.
If
There's
we take 2 as example, then the value which we'll get in both the cases will be 3, right, sir?
yeah.
After
Here, if
increment.
it will so what it will do actually, so the compiler will read the expression from right hand side. So here a is equal to a plus a plus plus, but in backend it is this like this. Okay. So compiler will always do the read operation from right hand side, from like this it will do. So it will do 1. What is the value of a? A is equal to 1. So it will take value a is equal to 2. Okay. But before incrementing, it will use the value as 1 only. Okay. It will do the operation of a plus plus, but before that, doing that operation, it will assign the value as 1 as for a. But here in this case, it will assign the value by 2. If value a is equal to 1, it will assign the value here as 2. If I'll give you an
So,
example here,
um,
I'll take an example here. Okay. I'll remove this everything, and let's say I'm defining int a. Okay, here I'm doing a plus plus. So what is the value it will print? Any guesses?
um,
Oh, sorry. A is equal to we're defining as well. So what it will print?
2, sir. It will print 2 now, sir.
Salman Shraddha,
Yes, sir.
what it will print?
So one.
I'll ask you reason why it is 1, why it is 2. Why you are saying as 1?
Sir, because unary operator take one by one. That's why. Output
Because
also one.
operator is taking one by one, sir.
Harsha saying the value will be 2 and Salman and Shraddha saying value will be 2. Let me tell you, answer is, we will print it. Answer is 1. So I'll tell you why it is 1, but let's see the example first. Let's see why it is 1. Okay, let's go to that example. Let's run this. Okay. You able to see my screen or not for running? Not now. Let me share. Now you will be able to see, right? Okay, let me run this. So how we will run this? Okay, that screen is also not visible.
Command prompt.
Yes, let's open one. JAVAC. What is the name of that program? Sum of 2.
Sum of 2.
Okay, so that is getting compiled. Okay, we need to give dot class also. Sum of 2 dot Java. Okay, it will convert the dot class file. Now we need to write Java and sum of 2. Okay, so I'm entering. So what is printing? 1. Why it is printing 1? I'll now explain. It is printing 1 because as soon as the value is getting incremented in the memory, in that time the value is getting printed. Okay, let's say I'll print here again. So now, any idea what is the value of A? I'm printing 2 times. Let's decompile this. So value is 1, value is 2. Why it is 1, 2? So here A is equal to 1. And when we are doing system.out.println, so here it is getting incremented, but before that it is getting printed. So this operation will do in the memory. So it will do in the memory like this: A is equal to A plus 1. But before that, the value will get printed. So it will print the value of A. But after this, once it gets printed, it is getting evaluated. So the value of A is updated to A is equal to 2. So next time if we print A, the value will be printed as 2. Got it? So it is like it is printing, then doing the operation. But what happened in this case? Plus A. What happened? What will be the value? Here the value will be 2. So here it will do the operation first, then assign the value to A, and then comes back out. So in both the cases, value will be 2. Here it will be 2, and after that it comes out, the value here will also be true. Let's check here again. We have recompiled this. Sum of 2. What is the error? Oh, sorry. We need to write Java, not JavaScript. The value is 2, 2. You got it, guys?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are unary operator. Okay. What are arithmetic? Arithmetic, you know that plus, minus, division and multiplication. These are
Arithmetic
arithmetic operators. Okay. So these are simple ones. So what are shift operator? Shift operators are like this. Like this. These are left shift, right shift. Okay. So there are 2 operators. Okay. There is one more. This also is there. Left shift operator, right shift operator, and there is one operator where we have the 3 arrow brackets. Okay. So I'll tell you, these operators mostly they are used when we have a requirement like AND OR gates. We need to shift operator to the left parity, right parity. I think you must be aware about that electrical things, parity, right? So in that case, we will use. Will not be discussing more on that because that is not much of use uh, in Java. But we have like if we got any requirement, so we can use that. Okay. So let's move to next one. We have relational operators. As Harsha said, relational is nothing but a comparison. If we want to compare two values, if A equal to B, if A is not equal to B, A is greater than B, A is less than B, less than equal to, greater than equal to. So these are nothing but relation operators. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have bitwise operator. So bitwise operators, these are like AND OR gate. Bitwise AND, bitwise exclusive OR, and bitwise exclusive OR gate. So shift operator and bitwise operators, they are hardly used uh, unless until we have got a program like this that we have to use. But these are hardly used. We will discuss more on this in the upcoming session. Let's go to logical operator. Logical operator are nothing. These are similar to the gates we have. AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate. So these are the logical operators. So how we'll write that and for AND. So we have AND operator, we have OR operator. Sorry, we have OR operator. We have NOT operator. And is depicted by like this symbol. And OR is depicted by double pipe over. NOT is depicted by semicolon. So these are AND OR gate. If we want to compare some Boolean values or we need to perform where based upon some two conditions or four conditions or 10 conditions, we need to decide something. So in that case, we can use logical and logical or and logical not operator. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then we have ternary operator. Ternary operator is these are the this is the one. This is nothing but ternary operator. Oh, not sorry. Question mark. What is this printed? Yeah. This is ternary operator. Where I'll tell you how we can use this ternary operator in the upcoming sessions because we have a concept for ternary operator. But for as of now, you consider that this is ternary. And the last one we are having is assignment operator. Assignment operator is nothing but assigning any value that is equal to. Let's say A equal to 1. So 1 is the value, A is the variable name. What is this equal to? This is nothing but an assignment operator. We are assigning some value to a variable and this is assignment operator. Any questions, guys? Any question in any of the operator except
No,
shift
sir.
and bitwise?
No, sir, no.
Okay. So for
Sir, can you explain logical operator?
okay, logical operators they are and, or, and not like this. If we want to perform activity where let's say if no, you need to decide. Let's say either it's a compulsion. You want to eat roti and paneer. Let's say roti and paneer, or paneer or dal. So you have a choice with paneer or dal. Okay, but you don't have an option with roti. So that is mandatory one. So or is like a conditional way where you we can have conditional. You can decide based upon multiple things. In that case, we can use or we can use and with that where we have some mandatory thing, some additional that will be given or that will not be given. Okay, so in that case we will use and operator, roti and or paneer or dal. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Shraddha, I,
Yeah.
I think she is not clear. Let me know if you are not clear. Hello, Shraddha, you are not clear or clear. Hello. Shraddha, I think she lost her connection. Let's wait for her. I think she is unclear with logical operator. Let's wait. Shraddha, you are back. Shraddha, are you there?
Yes, sir. Sir, due to network, I disconnected.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure,
So,
sir.
are you clear with that logical operator, or you want me to explain one once more?
No, sir, I got it.
Okay. So, that's all for today, guys. So, we will be discussing more concepts tomorrow, same time.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Thanks.